Welcome back, another episode. Eleanor describes what happened, saying that it wasn't an accident at the beach, rather, it was an attempt at suicide, while she was thinking about her first kid. However, she desired to live after realizing she was dying. When she noticed her child, the firstborn child she had given up, she was watching a cooking video. Food expert Mabel discusses mixing cultures via food, yet she faces criticism for her origins and her purported connections to indigenous cuisines and cultures even though she is not one, as far as she is aware. Mabel calls Italy home. She received backlash on social media for being a wealthy white woman after being challenged on TV. Mabel laments about what transpired over dinner with her brother Gio and her parents. Although her son challenges her for her privileges, her parents still stand by her. Gio admits that he doesn't feel like there is room for him at the university, that he and his mother are at odds, and that he doesn't want to leave. Mabel receives a call from James, another guest, inviting her to dinner. After speaking with her mother, Mabel goes out with James. She talks about how she was intrigued by the flavors and spices that set them apart from traditional British cuisine. When Charles calls Mabel, it seems to surprise her by telling her that he was searching for her on behalf of his customer. Charles reveals that she was adopted, believing that she was aware of the reality. As Benny and Byron come to terms with the news of having a second sister, Benny feels that her mother was less present to her since she was preoccupied with her first daughter. They understand Mabel's situation because they are aware that she learned over the phone. They now have to wait to find out how she is feeling. Until Mabel makes up her mind about participating in the final recording, they cannot proceed with it. Benny doesn't want to know anything about Mabel, so she doesn't feel genuine, while Byron is furious about the whole situation and wants to contact her to speed up the process. Benny and Simon converse. He continues to discuss selling their artwork with her. Despite his continued resistance, Benny persists in trying to persuade her to do it. She gives it the go-ahead to sell it. Byron watches videos of Mabel cooking and searches for information about her. When Mabel opens up Eleanor's photo and discovers that she is black, she is astounded. When she gets home, she stares more closely at herself in the mirror, focusing on her hair and skin tone as well as how different she is from her parents. When it comes to bringing up his parents and being abrasive with him, Byron's girlfriend apologizes. Eleanor's spouse is the one who pieces together that her sexual assault must have resulted in her pregnancy. Mark gives Byron a last-minute call to invite him to a panel discussion on diversity in STEM. Lynette tells Byron that instead of constantly complaining about how he's treated at work, she needs him to be the man she fell in love with and who stood up for what he believed in. Byron answers the phone when someone calls Eleanor. He is prompted to view her recent phone conversations and photos on the PHNO. Eleanor gave Mabel several calls. Mabel leaves the house and comes back. It's the middle of the night, and she wants to talk to her parents. She queries them regarding her birth date. When Mabel realized that her parents were lying to her and that she knew who she was, she challenged them. Mabel becomes enraged with her parents for stealing her identity. She's ready to go. Her mother informed her that Gio's situation was comparable. Mabel approaches Gio so they may speak. After visiting Steve's apartment, Benny tears up the artwork they created. However, she loses it when she hears Simon returning home. She asks her brother for assistance. After she storms off, Simon pursues her, sobbing and pleading for her to forgive him, telling her that if she doesn't stay with him, he will be nothing more than a has-been. When Byron arrives to pick up Benny, Steve confronts him. When Byron hits Steve, the police show up. Byron is being held at gunpoint. For more, subscribe.